Hi everybody, I'm Irene Thompson, hoping you're having a great day. I am going to show you how to do some iris folding, and we're using some stuff from the holiday catalog. I had some scraps of Christmas paper one year, it's about 10 years ago, and I couldn't figure out what to do with them because there's other ways to use your scraps. Well, I stumbled across iris folding. So that's what I like to do with my scraps, is do iris folding. This card, the idea came from this ornament. I actually traced it out and cut all these little ornaments out by hand before die cuts became, or at least I thought about using them this way. So I created the cutout, and then I created the pattern. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Let me tell you what we're using. From the holiday catalog, we are using the silver foil that actually comes in silver and gold. It's cards and envelopes. It's on page 11 of your catalog, your holiday catalog. We're also using some Dashing Along scrap paper, which you know is free when you have a workshop and you host it. You get it as a host gift. So I'm using those scraps. And then I'm also using Embellished Ornaments, which is a retired set, and I'm also using Wishing You Well, which is on page 35 of the holiday catalog. So let's get started. We are going to start with taking the die and running it through the card. So I ran it through, I centered it, and there's my cutout. It's what I wanted. It's easier than cutting it out by hand. So now we're going to take the die to create our template, and we are going to place it on, outline it, so that creates our template. Then we're going to make some angles on here. And we're going to number as we go. So that would be 1. We're going to create 4 of them to start with. 2, and number as you go. 3, 4, and there you go. You keep going. You pick up at the angle, the spot you left off. And that would be 5. And then pick up at this one, be 6, and try not to make sure you get them too wide. The scraps that I'm using, I cut them to 1 inch, and then I folded them in half. So I took a 1-inch piece, and I folded in half, which now we know becomes a 1/2 inch. So you can do your scraps any length, whatever, because you're just going to trim them down to fit. So if you do it too wide, a 1/2 inch won't fit on there. So when you're trying to create that swirl look. So let me show you one that I have done. And it is right here. Now this one's done. And I highlighted it so you can see how it goes. So here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's how the pattern is going to repeat itself. So all these colors all create that same pattern. So to do that, I have my paper already set, and I'm going to use a double-sided tape that's removable for the base of it, to tape the base on so it'll be easy to pull off. And then I'm going to use a regular Scotch tape. So I'm going to set this up in the way that I'm going to follow the pattern. There we go. So we'll go that direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's where our 4 comes from. 1, 2, 3, 4. The best thing about our DSP is it's got 2 sides, and when you buy a set of it, it all coordinates with each other with the same colors. I love that. Okay, so let's get started. I'll show you how to put it together. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm putting it right on the line that we're creating. The fold will be on the line. And I'm noticing it, we don't want anything hanging out, so you will need scissors. The further it hangs out, you may have to cut it off later because these areas, there's not much space here. So we want to make sure we leave room. Alright, so on the very base, I'm using double-sided. And I'm starting with 1, so this one will go on 1. And then we'll move on to the next color, and that will go on 2. Snip that off, we don't want it too big. And this is a repositional, and I'm using that for a reason. It's easier to get it off the base. Okay. Or at least off the pattern that I've created. Okay, and then this will be the third one. Fourth one, and if you've noticed, I keep turning it so it's next to me so I can see it and follow it instead of guessing I'm on the right line. Okay, there's the first set down. Okay, and we started here. I'm going to set it back at that side. We're going to move on to our next one. Ooh, Felix, no. Get down, buddy. Felix wants to join me crafting. He loves to get up on our craft table. Okay, now I'm moving on to regular tape. You see how it's starting to layer on top of each other? Make sure you put your pieces back. Felix, hey, hey. No, no, no. Good boy. Okay. And the next one. And there you see how it's going. So that's basically how it's going to keep going until you are done. And you should have 5 of each of these going in to create that swirl. So there is how it goes. And then you'll keep going. Your very last one, whatever color you end up on, just take your piece and tape it on top like this, because you'll need a solid surface, because this looks like it's too small for this one, so you'll need a solid piece to put over it. So let's set these pieces aside. I have one that is done, and I will show you how to pull it off. And here it is. Now we use the double-sided tape, the repositionable, for a reason, so we can pull it off our template. Alright, there it is. How cool is that? Isn't that so cool? I love it. Cool. And now you can keep reusing this. Now I'm going to trim off this extra tape here because we are not going to need that to get in our way when we tape it down. Okay, and I'm going to set it to the side. We will get to that in a second. So we're going to do the cover and put our bow and our little ornament topper, which came out of the embellished ornaments. So it's the topper to the ornament. So I'm just going to tape that down with some of our adhesive. This way I'll know where to put my bow when I stamp it down. So there's that. Okay, now the bow, I am using cherry cobbler. And I'm not going to stamp off, I'm doing it directly on top. I like the brightness of it. Love it! Woohoo! Pretty, pretty. Love that bow. Awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to take our tape runner and run it around the edge. Of our ornament. And then we will put it on our iris fold. And just center it where you like it best. It's very pretty. I like that. Isn't that cool? How awesome. Isn't that just beautiful? Okay, now to attach it all down. See how the edges are a little wide? And I was telling you, there's not much space there, so we got to cut some of this down. So I'm going to cut some off. And some here. So we don't want it getting on the score line. So there's that. And now I'm going to take regular Scotch tape and tape the rest of it to the cover. There we go. Cool. How cool is that? All right, now I'm going to take and cover it because you see I covered it all up so nothing falls off. And it's taped down good enough, but we still gotta finish it off because it looks odd like that. I wouldn't want my friends seeing that. So we're gonna cover it up with some cherry cobbler. And then we're going to do, putting a little expression on the inside. And that's what it finishes it up like. Not just cute. Super great way to use your scrap pieces. And I know there's all different kinds of ways of using your scrap. But it's the best way I like to do it. And the thing is with all the die cuts we have now, they're just so big and they've got so much space in them. It's easy to do stuff like this instead of creating your own and cutting your own shapes out. So, which is wonderful. there it is. All done. How cool is that? And that's super cool. And of course it's got an envelope, so it's ready to go. Just put that baby out in the mail. That's so cool. Isn't that just gorgeous, everybody? I love them. Now these are a few of the other cards I've done. This is the one from Falling Leaves, or Falling for Leaves. Here is, I cut it out using the leaf die, and I used Country Lane DSP. It's on page 43, and the Falling Leaves is on page 45. So that's what I did with this one. Did the same thing, covered it up. So isn't that adorable? And then here's an older one, and I did the same template the same way. And then here's an older one I did, and it's still using the 4. So I love the look of the 4. If it's larger or whatever, you can do 5 or 6, or, I mean, this was an older card, so super cute. And it all came from an idea of an ornament. Crazy! I love it. It's amazing. Well, I hope you are enjoying my videos. Soon there will be a little piece, little picture of me that shows up. Just kind of hit it and subscribe, and you'll be able to see the rest of my videos that I'm doing, and they will pop up in your inbox. And I'm hoping that there will be a new one from me in there. So if anybody is looking for a demonstrator, I'll be more than happy to help you out. I would love to be your creative coach and give you fun projects, ideas, and share special offers and teach about fantastic stamping and all these super techniques. I mean, look at this technique just to use paper, your scrap pieces of paper. How awesome is that? Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you again. And remember, subscribe. It's free. Have an awesome day and happy crafting. Thanks for watching.